Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those that need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is at SKiMPod, SKiMPod.
Stays Crunchy.
For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K.
Crunchy.
Hey, feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
We're available by Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, anywhere fine podcasts are available. And of course, it's the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share wherever possible, including on YouTube, where we can now be found at Stays Crunchy. And over on Twitch, we're still Stays Crunchy and Milk. Our personal Twitters are
Tatum 216,
Lunchbox 2099.
And I'm your host, the internet's Chantrelle 713.
Stays Crunchy, stays crunchy, stays crunchy, stays crunchy, stays crunchy, stays crunchy.
That's what you want, huh? Well, let me tell you a little story. I had a young player from the hood, licked my pussy real good, kept me stuck with lots of wood, kept my bank account on swole, stiffed my pussy like a rose, smoke it on dro, made a porn tape, that nigga is a pro, you ain't know? He had a lot of bad bitches in his past, but I was the one that turned that boy into a motherfucking man. His tongue is bomb, and he loved for me to ride his face, front to back, gripping ass, pay my bills where I live, fuck me good, broke ass niggas killing me. I'm about my money, ho. Never been a square ass bitch. He ain't paying, hit the fucking dough. Talking slick, that Memphis shit. I be from the Haven clique. Keep it ratchet, so sweet. All these boys kiss my feet. I be on that queen shit. You better bless my realness. Stick your tongue up in my ass. You better know me, who you fucking with. Run the jewels, love again. You gon' lose, I'm gon' win. Let's have an orgy. I'ma share your ass with all my friends. Yeah, ho. Hello and welcome to it. It's Stays Crunchy and Milk. It's episode 477, and we are not providing any broadband or voice services. I'm your host, Chantrelle 713. Joined by my best friends, it's Tatum 216.
Hello. And I gotta ask, what year did this come out? Because she uses the word ratchet, and I know it's a couple different times where, like, words that are just now in popular culture, but it was pretty old back then. Like,
when did RTJ2 come out? RTJ2. Give me a second here. Dropped in 2014.
Oh.
And let me just go ahead and get that taken care of right now before I let Daniel come in and do his damn thing. And that is, I just want to give a RIP to one Lola, Chantrelle Mitchell. You knew her, I knew her, we knew her as Gangsta Boo, formerly of 3-6 Mafia. Did some good stuff as a solo artist herself as well. She passed away on New Year's Day, and it's a damn shame, man. A real dope MC. Put some respect on her fucking name if you don't know. Memphis, Tennessee's own, from Whitehaven, or they called it Black Haven. By the time when they was talking about it, I had to laugh. Also, the fact that Tennessee had a town called Whitehaven. What was going on there? Anyway, may she rest easy, man. I'm assuming she's far too young. 43 years old is far too young to be called on to glory, and of course TMZ is, you know, it's this is that and so forth. But no matter what it is, far too young, and she will be missed. That's why I had to spit some Gangsta Boo flows. Those were her lyrics from the song "Love Again" by Run the Jewels, and she's dope, man. And LP and his wife have been really. I mean, not that they could not help but take it hard, but they've been posting a lot about how much they are so grief stricken by the loss of Lola, because she was people to them. You know what I'm saying? Like was at their wedding. Like they is folk. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm very sad for her peoples and her families and everybody who loved her and her fans who are having to, you know, lose another, you know what I'm saying, MC far too young, because that's just what it is in hip hop, man. We lose so many so fast, and it's just, it sucks. So RIP Gangsta Boo. What was her name for a little bit when she was the good Lord? She was Lady Boo for a hot second there, because, you know what I'm saying, she found religion and she didn't want to be considered Gangsta Boo no more. But
should have gotten into anime. She could have been Majin Buu.
That right there, that's my homeboy. It's Lunchbox 2099. Sir, welcome to the fold this week. What's going on with you?
All right, I'm going to lay this down, okay? It's going to be a lot of questions. You wanna? You want a hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work, bitch. You want a Lamborghini? Bikinis? Look hot in a bikini? You better work, bitch. You want to live fancy? Live in a big mansion? Party in France? You better work, bitch. You better work, bitch. You better work, bitch. You better work, bitch.
Man, I don't think I know that one even like under some circumstances, I'm like, it's familiar, but that was unfamiliar all the way. Please guide me through You Better Work, Bitch.
That's Britney Spears.
No, what song is
It's
that?
Britney, bitch.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Is that what is that song? I don't know that song.
It's Work, bitch.
It's literally just called Work, Bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Britney,
You better
bitch.
work, bitch.
But wait, there's more. We are. Oh, forget. Oh, I'm sorry. Got a snap for box. You know what I'm saying? But wait, there's more, man. I got my man Delvin Cox of the Delvin Cox Experience in the building this week because I was listening to So Tell Me this week, and today in particular, I was like, I gotta holler at this dude. So Delvin, welcome back to the show. Good to have you, sir. How are you? Happy New Year to you.
I'm doing good. You know, it's interesting when you hear guys sing and rap female lyrics because they sound very different than what the women do. Because Gangsta Boo, gorgeous chocolate woman, sexy.
Not so much this guy.
See?
You trying to say T's not a handsome chocolate man?
T's a handsome chocolate man. It doesn't hit the same. And that Britney Spears, fine. That song was sexy. Hearing you sing it, not the same.
See, but I'm not.
Same way to it.
I'm not trying to sing it. I'm trying to turn it into a performance piece.
Yes. It's almost jarring. Like,
It is jarring.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
can agree with you.
jarring.
because you're like, is that what I think it is? Like, it is.
It's because you've been trained when you hear that, like, oh, that's that pretty lady singing that. And
Yeah.
then you see us, and you're like, what's wrong with me right now? I'm
What's
feeling
going
things I've never felt before.
Not gonna lie. when I heard Lunch singing that, the first song that came to my mind was RuPaul.
Work it, girl. Supermodel that shit,
Do
man.
your thing on the
runway.
That song is fire.
Another song I remember seeing on the box back in the day.
Yes, that was definitely a box joint. They wouldn't bump that on MTV. Supermodel. Goddamn, where's the RuPaul, Charles? Props to my man. So y'all like, man. Oh, go ahead, man.
I do have to say, one of the few, not one of the few, but one of the few celebrities I seen in person who looked better in person. Britney
RuPaul?
Spears.
Oh, Britney Spears. I was like, RuPaul, really?
I believe both. Yeah, Britney Spears and RuPaul.
Bruh, it was like, this is the time we work downtown, and I want you to know, like, half the people we work with left the building to go try to see Britney Spears. It was wild.
I believe that too.
The two times I remember people like all getting up is or the most talked about moments is when Beyonce was downstairs, when Penny Hardaway was downstairs, when Kobe was upstairs, and when who else? Oh, when of course when Michael Jordan used to get on the bus for that last little bit, and like when Wu was downstairs.
Yeah, you met some people. You got some people with you.
We have met, and we talked about it. We've talked about it before. We have, I have met multiple members and as well of Wu-Tang Clan throughout my life, and not just when we worked. Because we worked downtown, right? And where we worked at downtown was right next to the Fancy Hotel, where everybody stayed when they came to town. Baseball players and basketball players and so forth and so on.
Yeah,
And so,
we'd get off work and there'd be fans downstairs
trying to
holding
sign shit.
memorabilia, trying to get it signed.
And so I would regularly bump into like, oh, hey, it's the RZA. What's good, man? Oh, hey, Ghost. I done bumped into Ghost and Ray like twice in my life. Once Freaknik in Atlanta, 1994, And I'm like, yo, go show Ray. It was literally like that. It was that.
That makes 100% sense right there.
Yeah, of course it does. And then, of course, like I said, here at the fancy hotel, and the RZA was nothing but a chill dude. So it's always interesting and fun to me the celebrities we have managed to bump into. I remember bumping into Kenyon Martin. Is eating in the food court with his lady and his baby, and now don't his baby play in the NBA?
Yeah, he plays on the Rockets.
Yeah. That baby that was in that, like,
wow.
Yeah, it is, and I'm old. So
I think the two celebrities I met was Matt Damon in a Barnes and Noble.
Hell yeah!
I worked there, and I had to get people to leave him the fuck alone because he was just shopping with his daughter. And this was like around the time where I think it was the Born Supremacy just came out.
Okay.
So he was like, that dude, Matt Damon. And he was in there with his daughter trying to shop, and people were like trying to crowd him, like, hey, you gotta.
I never understand why people crowd celebrities like that. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know,
Hey, you come here. I want you.
They want autographs and stuff, and yeah, that man ain't here for that right now. You know, gotta let him live.
Bro, I'm at the store shopping. What would you do if I rolled upon you at your store and you were shopping? It could be a problem. Yeah. Don't do that to me. It's random.
And the other one, who I became cool with for a good minute, Raheem from Juice.
Oh, wow.
No way.
Yeah, he used to come to, I used to work at, what is it called? Einstein Bagels a long time ago. And they was shooting a movie. And he would come there every morning to get breakfast. And this tells you what area I worked in. Nobody knew who the fuck he was except me. Nobody had any clue.
Oh, shit. I mean, so, respect it.
He would come in and just sit down and talk to me for a minute. Like, yeah, talking about Tupac and shit.
Pretty cool. Also respect Einstein Bagels because they was one of the few places that was doing turkey sausage before shit was sweet.
Oh, yeah.
And the Einstein Bagels in my hood closed recently because Einstein Bagels was procured by the people who own Panera, and they right across the street from each other in my neck of the woods. And so I no longer have an Einstein Bagels, just Panera.
Einstein Bagels is really good.
Yeah, put some respect on their name. So, I mean,
I used to love that job.
In general, you know what I'm saying, we have guests on because, just to guest it up and have a good time. But this week I had to just rap with Delvin about, so, I mean, if you listen to Delvin shows, you are aware Delvin is now divorced fully.
Yes.
And is therefore on the dating scene.
Free agent, baby.
And it is something I constantly say is something I never have to do again.
Yes.
And then Delvin tell us about it was like, I was like, oh dear God, man, I never have to do this again. Yes.
It is wild. It's fascinating. I know Dan, you're single, right?
Yeah.
We are brothers in that kind of thing, brother. Because it is a ride. And the crazy thing about it is when I can speak on this, I don't talk too much. Like that's why I do it on my Patreon because it's a lot of personal stuff I say on my Patreon. So tell me, people love that show, but I can talk about this part. When you're going through the process of becoming single, it's almost exciting, especially me because I was married for like 17 years. I want to say we were together like 17, 18 years. It's almost a little exciting because you're like, all right, I've been with this woman X amount of years. It's a whole new world there, different people I can talk to, I can get to know. This didn't work out. It's going to be fun trying to experience this kind of new step forth in life. Then you get out there. And then you realize, oh, I'm 42. The people who are out there now, a lot of them are damaged and have been through some shit. Mm-hmm. And they're here to tell you about how damaged they are. And that alone makes every part of it very interesting, to say the least. I think it's been a kind of a wild ride in terms of that.
It is okay. So your dating app of choice is an interesting choice, and I wonder what made you say, "Let me fuck with that one," as opposed to any of the other options you have out there.
Oh,
And
we can say that.
since you have been on there, have you thought maybe I should try something different?
I'll just tell people what it is. It's Facebook dating, and the reason why I picked Facebook dating is because I figured out of all the ones, it's probably the safest because you have to verify who you are to be on there. Like you have to you can once you start it up, it tells you you can just sign up like any regular account, but then you have to produce your ID to make sure you're who you are.
Okay.
And the thing that's one of the things I thought was important because a lot of these dating sites be having Ashley Madison was big on that where 90% of people on there were men. And so
isn't Ashley Madison like the cheaters website?
Yeah, that's the one that had the whole scandal where everybody information got leaked out, and it turned out that half of the people were talking to other guys because they were getting scammed and stuff. So I didn't want no situation like that. So I was like, let me go on something where I know it's actual people I'm talking to.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to try Tinder because Tinder almost feels like Tinder's got kind of the thing where it feels more like a hookup site than an actual dating site. So I'm like, I want to actually date women and not just hook up. Because hookup's cool, but hooking up also comes with this sort of baggages and things like that with it. So I said, let me just try to actually go on dates and do things like that. So I said, let me give Facebook dating a try. And that experience is a fascinating one because, one, like I said on So Tell me being the age I am, I kind of figuring out the age range I can date with that doesn't seem either creepy or I'm dating a grandmother. And not like a young grandmother, like a grandmother like 80 years old and shit. So it's like, what's the highest I can go in age where it's like, okay, this is still acceptable? And what's the youngest I can go where people are like, this nigga need to be in jail? So it's like, so that's kind of been the thing I've been doing, and it's like it's a fascinating experience because you read the profiles of different people and you hear their stories, and it's wild because you could, like I say, I don't know if you experienced any of this, Lunch. You can stop and tell me your experience as well to kind of go with the flow with it a little bit, but they put it out there. The women on there put it out there what they want, how they feel, and it's almost like some of their experiences, which is a little bit sad almost. They carrying trauma and pain, so they bring it out on that. They'll put like such and such age. I'm looking for a man. I'm not trying to play no games. This. If you don't have this, and that, don't even click my link. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, a lot of the people, they're hurt, and they don't take the time needed to heal, and then they immediately try to jump into something else, like you said, still carrying the baggage from the previous relationship, and then it affects their mood, it affects their trust. Like my buddy was just in a relationship with someone, he broke up with her like a week before Christmas, and she was a divorcee, and I guess they've been divorced for about 4 years or so. And I would hear them on the phone, and a lot of the conversations they would have would be like, they'd just be talking about something. Then it's like she would start to feel like his response wasn't energetic enough or something, and then she'd start trying to probe, like something was wrong. And like, nothing's wrong, but that was what her relationship before was. It was like a domineering man, kind of abusive. And so then it's like she turns into always looking for, oh, what am I doing wrong? Why is he not happy? And then it's like she's projecting that onto him now. And then it turns into him getting angry because he's like, there's nothing wrong, but you keep poking me and prodding me, because she hasn't figured out how to like just be trusting of the other person when they say nothing's wrong, because she's used to that, like that abuse, and so it's like a lot of people go through that, not just women, but from our perspective, you and I we try to date women, so that's what we're familiar with, and it becomes this like I have to put up this list of what I want and try and hit as many of these as I can for me to feel secure and safe and feel like this is the kind of relationship that's going to work for me. Not knowing if that'll actually be the kind of relationship that will work for them. It's just what they think will work for them because the last person didn't have some of these things or whatever.
Yeah, you're right. And I think I'm going about it in a good way because me going on this app, I'm fully, completely healed from any trauma or anything that I went from a previous relationship. Mm-hmm. So I don't have the same hang-ups that a normal person would have. So I kind of just I go on with no reservations. I take people for what they are. I don't have any gripes. And I'm like, yo, let's try to see what it is. And because I'm like that, sometimes it's almost a negative. Because I'll give you a perfect example. I think I might have said this on So Tell Me. There's this one chick, right? She messages me. She says, hi. I'm like, hi, how you doing? We start talking and stuff like that. She's like, what are you looking for in a relationship? I'm like, I'm looking for somebody I can talk to, I can build with. We can start our friendship and build ourselves up to a full relationship. Build ourselves up from there, to get to know each other. She blocked me.
No. What the hell?
She blocked me because I guess because I said friendship.
Yeah, because what you were presenting was going to take too long in her eyes. Because she's ready to be married now. She wants kids now. She doesn't want to wait. So she wants someone who's fucking, all right, we're going to bang this dating shit out for 3 months. We're going to determine if we like each other, and then we're going to get the white picket fence. We got, the clock is ticking, man. Like, we played around in our 20s and our 30s, and we got to get moving. Like, everyone wants that happy life now because they're realizing that, like, time's running out.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because once you realize that women are out there like that, the word friendship almost comes as a bad word almost. Like, I didn't realize I can't use that word.
Because they don't want that.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that bit of honesty. It's been forever since I got divorced and was dating. But what Vanessa would tell you separated me from a lot of motherfuckers was I was straight up like, I want to go on a date with you, not this swirl in the drain situation where a lot of dudes do. A lot of dudes will be like, let's hang out, but nothing specific, no specificity to it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to imply what that means, or they want to say, or it gives them a bit of a soft landing. They can be like, well, if that didn't work out, we were just hanging out anyway. It wasn't anything. Whereas I was like, hey, I'd like to go see this new Batman movie. I'd like to take you on a date. Are you down for that? And so I was real, just, upfront with that. Because one, I was grown. I'd been married myself for like, when I got divorced, I'd been married for like 13 years, bro. So I hear you. So, and I feel like that helps, you know what I'm saying? And I know, and I already, like I say, I kind of get what you are up to in this situation. You are in that, you are similar to me in that you are like, I'm coming out here to tell you what I want and what I want to do. So there's no guesswork here. I would like to go on a date with you. I'm sure, like I said, you, because I know the type of person you are. You're like, that means I got you. I'm gonna pay for your drinks or your food or whatever. We ain't going to Dutch this first time around. I'm gonna pay for you, and we're gonna go on a date. And so that's basically how, like I said, how I approached it when I wanted to actually date Vanessa. Other things, jangled around for a little bit, talk to some ladies or whatever like that. But none of them was ever going to be let's kick it. It's just not what that was for. So it's interesting to me. Like now, shit, I've been with Vanessa now like 10 years, bro. So it's like that's a very long time ago when I was there. So when in my dating it was OK Cupid. Tinder was around, but I went for me. It was for youngins, and it was Plenty of Fish, and it was people who people who know people kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So that was the and so like okay Cupid was kind of like okay, that was a little more serious. That's where you go on dates with people. Plenty of Fish is where you go to fuck, and and then like I said, I never really got on Tinder, and like I said, Vanessa is a friend of mine, so that all worked itself out. So So I wonder like today you got there's so many options for dating sites that it's like it's Tinder, it's what's the B one? Bumble, it's Hinge. What's the one for rich people? Raya.
I saw an ad for our new one last night. BLK.
I mean, black? Is it for black people?
Yeah. The commercial it was black people like, and this is our app, so we can date us. Was kind of the implication, you know.
And then Woo for thick ones.
Yeah, because I sent that one. I saw that ad on. I don't know. I think it had to be TikTok or something.
You sent it to me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Share.
Yeah. So yeah, it was an app for big people.
Okay.
So we just want to date each other. And I was like, okay. And then of course, I mean, it's like there's so many out there. They got that one Christian Mingle, Farmers Only. It's a right wing one. Everybody seems to think it's just full of dudes as well. So,
that one's full of dudes.
Yeah. So it's like it's dope to have options, but also it would seem overwhelming to me. You know what I'm saying? And so
the whole thing is overwhelming, man. Like the world of technology took something and they like overcomplicated it, because you can't just like meet people anymore. If you try to talk to people out in the general populace, people start to wonder like if you got like some sort of like agenda behind it, or like you're just like some sort of creep, because everyone just talks digitally now. There's hardly any like genuine face-to-face meeting for the first time. Everything's a transaction. So if you're not talking through a dating app where like you're on there either to fuck or you're trying to date, then people just don't want to entertain the possibility of some stranger talking to them at the grocery store or anything like that, you know?
Well, that's what I found so interesting about Delvin. Delvin's experience thus far is he has been talking to people on the phone.
Yeah.
People don't do that no more. People text on the phone, but you've been actually having conversations, little FaceTimes and so forth. And I think, okay, I feel like you are doing it differently enough that you'll be fine.
Yeah. I kind of do it that way because that's kind of the way I came up, like talking on the phone.
Yeah.
When I was dating, that was the thing you do. You talk on the phone, and, you know, plus it's a little more personal talking on the phone as opposed to like, hey, let's just text our whole conversations. And you like to get to know somebody and their voice, mainly because like, as you know, like these apps, sometimes they post pictures of them 20 years ago, so it's not the same person. And so I kind of try to gauge who the person is and if they are actually who they are on their app. So I think it's good to have those conversations and go through that with them. Like I said, it's been a fascinating experience for me.
That could be a good way, too, to determine your age range of what you're willing to do based on who's willing to talk to you on the phone or not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
True, because people of a certain age are like, oh, yeah, I fuck with it. I get on the phone with you. And people of another age bracket will be like, never. This is disgusting. This man had the audacity to make a phone call to me. How do you know this phone rang? You know what I'm saying?
But it's also like, you know, it takes a little trust in that, too. Like, hey.
It does.
Here's my phone number.
Yeah. That's something I was going to ask. Like, do you have a burner number, or you just actually have your phone number? Like the number I got.
It's my actual phone number. I don't give a fuck. Like, yo, they can call me like, hey, all right.
So, for my sanity and your safety, I truly wish you would. I want you to just get a Google number, because you can answer it on your phone still.
Okay.
But it's not your direct number.
That might be a good idea.
It is just for a general. We try not to give our real phone numbers out away on the internet no more. It's attached to our phones now.
That is true. That is very true.
So like I said, you can make you up a quick Google phone number, and it's not too. Like I said, it'll ring directly to your phone just like anybody else's would. You'll be fine. But yeah, don't. And you got to dial from it too. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna call somebody, but it's just do that for me, man.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
That way, it plus it just separates. You know, it separates dating business from life business for the time being until it needs to cross over. Like, all right, you have leveled up. You get the real phone number, okay?
Yeah. I don't want Nigerian princesses.
Oh my God!
But it's been a fascinating experience. I can tell this story. This is a current story about this chick I'm talking to. We went on 2 dates. She's an older chick. She's like I think she's 50.
Okay.
So I won't use her name, of course, obviously.
Can we have a code name?
I'm gonna go with Roxanne, and if that's a real
Roxanne
name, then
perfect.
I just dumbed up. So.
We'll use Roxanne. That works. That's surprisingly close to her name, but
Oh.
in this situation, it works. So I see her profile. She's a nice black lady, pretty. She's messaging me and stuff like, we're conversating. All her pictures are of her from waist up. So like, right, that's cool. I never paid attention to that, but the story will explain why. So we're talking and things like that. She's asked me some funny questions. Like one of the funny questions I think while we started talking was she asked me, because all my pictures are from waist up because they're mostly selfies. I'm not gonna be like, hey son, come take a picture of me so I can put it on this dating app. That's weird as fuck. Mm-hmm. So it was like, so she asked me, do you have legs? I'm like, yes, I have legs. That's a weird question to ask the person.
Oh,
and she was like, and this is why she asked me that. She was like, on one of the dating apps, she was talking to a guy, and when they went on a date, she found out he was and he never disclosed that.
Yeah.
So to be funny, I took a picture of my legs and yep, my legs work. They're both here.
Nobody's trying to be ableist there, people. I mean, it's real. That lady did not want to date a man who no, not that she didn't want to. She just needed that information up front.
Yeah, just wanted it up front. I think that's an important aspect when you go on a date. That's how it works. People have preferences and they want to know these type of details. They ask a lot of type of stuff like that.
You want to make informed decisions. Yes. So that is a good point of discussion. What are your I guess your icebreaking getting to know you questions in this new realm of dating for you? What are your I guess we'll go with top 5 questions you think are that you're going to have that you have prepared and will need sort of specific answers to.
I don't really have it. I'm also asked the thing like what they like to do, where they like to go to kind of set up an idea for a date. Because I don't want to I want to know what type of things you like to do. Because I don't want to find out what type of things you like to do, what type of things you are into, whether it's politics and things like that, because I don't want to be like, all right, I like this girl, but then she was at January 6th. She was raiding the Capitol a couple days ago. That's kind of fucked up. I would like to know that stuff in advance. And the funny thing about that is, one of the profiles said, and I kid you, and I said, if you're not a MAGA boy, I can't date you. Well, I guess I'm pressing X on that. No, thank you. But yeah, I asked about that. I asked about this is a tricky question. What type of work you're into? I don't want to know what your job is. What type of work you're into? Because I don't try to. Pocket watching is weird. Yeah. But I kind of want to know. Hey, you got a job? We can build. We can support each other if we were to get serious. So stuff like that. To not get too deep into it. Yeah, main thing is what you like to do. Because we're gonna go on a date. It has to be fun. I always feel like the first date should be fun. Like something that we both will enjoy. So even if we don't jail, at least we can say we had a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, let me finish telling this story about this girl. So to give more clarity what happened. So we're getting along. We're gelling and stuff like that. And we're like, okay. We get to the point where let's go on a date. She lives, I want to say, an hour and a half away from me. So we're like, okay, we'll go to this restaurant that is the halfway point. So it'll take us 45 minutes to get there. So we drive, and I said, because I thought, my whole thing is, let's do it where we both can be comfortable.
Yeah.
Say, if you take your car, I take my car. So if anything goes on the date, at any point in time, you can leave, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about paying for no food. Don't worry about anything else. I'm not that type of dude who's gonna be like, you gotta pay this bill because the date went. Nah. We ain't doing that shit. So that's one of the things I do stress to people. Set your boundaries before you go on a date. Like in terms of like, hey, I'm gonna pay for this. We're gonna pay for that. We take our own cars to make the person feel comfortable and safe among everything else. So and don't falter on that stuff. Like even if the date go bad, still be a gentleman. Pay for the date, the food, and be out.
For sure.
Don't be that dude who be like, nah, fuck this. You got to pay for your half of the food or dip out. Nah, that's weird. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of get bad karma for that shit. So we go to the restaurant. It's a nice little restaurant. It's one of those fancy restaurants that sell it sells the sample platter, then the actual dinner, then the dessert, and the dessert be like the size of a small cup. So I get there before her. And she parks where she can see me. And she sneaks up behind me and tries to scare me. And I'm like, oh shit. Turn around. And this woman has a body like a stripper.
Oh.
Like I'm like a huge ass.
Okay. Yeah, but like
So-
that could have meant anything. I've seen a lot of strippers.
Yeah. And it's not being pervy, but as she told me, she's like, the reason I don't show the lower half of my body is because people only see that half of me and don't really want to date. They want to fuck. And this is where the story, it doesn't take a bad turn, but this is where the story gets interesting. Because you can, me talking to her and going out there with her that day, you can tell she's really insecure about that shit. And what I mean by that is like it's certain things like we're walking beside each other and stuff like that. We're talking. She's like, "Why are you looking at me?" I'm like, "Cause we're on a date. We're talking. This is how people on dates interact with each other. I'm gonna give you my attention because you deserve my attention while we're on a date. Like it makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, why does it make you uncomfortable? And the more I talk to her, the more I realize, it's because she has a huge ass. And like it's a really big ass. So because of that, she gets a lot of stares from guys and girls from that matter.
Yeah.
That can make her very uncomfortable because they just see that one thing. So me, being a gentleman, I have to be mindful of that. Like, I don't want her to feel uncomfortable. That's, even though I'm being genuine with what I'm doing, to her, it may not feel like that. She may feel like, well, this dude wants one thing. And her experience, from what she's told me, her experience has kind of been that guys find out that how she looks and the date goes from wanting to be a date to kind of just want to smash.
Yeah.
So it's kind of difficult navigating through that part of it.
Well, you've gotten 2 dates done under your belt with her, and that's probably helpful, because then she kind of like, okay, this is just who this person is. I kind of can understand how he acts and reacts. So he ain't just here for, because that's not what you're here for anyway.
No.
I mean, like you've
It's
made it plain.
Don't get me wrong. It's a bonus.
Sure.
No.
Hey.
It's like when you open up them gifts on Christmas, like, oh, I didn't expect to get this. Like, you know,
Nintendo 64.
exactly like I came for the breakfast, but it's a little extra stuff in there. So I'm like, all right, this pretty cool.
I mean, they gave you the thick cut bacon and
Yeah.
came up on that deal.
I didn't realize we were getting mimosas too.
Yeah. So, but you know, that's not what I came for.
For sure.
I'm happy it's there, of course, but yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, the point you made clear, you know, with the one lady who just was like, fuck that, is I like to be your friend. I like to get to know you. We can see where this goes and first, then, you know what I'm saying? And if we catch a vibe, dope. And if we don't, hey, I met a cool person, you met a cool person, and we ate sometime. You know what I'm saying? We had a good meal or whatever. What's your preferred date? I guess is another question I'd ask you. What do you like? Are you a meal kind of guy, sit down restaurant kind of situation, or, you know, long walks on the beach, nigga?
It depends on the situation and the woman. I like one of the first dates I went on when we started this, I talked about it on Hotel. We went to a Spanish, it was a restaurant / Spanish club. And I can tell this story. This story is kind of funny. So, the chick, she's Spanish. I give her the directions to the place. She's an hour late. She apparently goes the complete opposite direction. Can't find the place. And so she showed up like an hour late to the date. So we go to the little Spanish place. We sit down. We order like the little food to sit down to eat with. Because it's like a club / restaurant. Because, you know, this Miami.
Did she print the directions out on MapQuest or something?
No, that's the thing. She looked up on her phone and I sent her the directions via, like, you know, you send the directions Google Maps.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck she fucked that up.
Yeah, because I'm listening, but I'm just like, the car yells at you when you're going the wrong way. Like, so she must have just not Bluetoothed it or something. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how it is, you know what I'm saying? When you first start off on a mission and you think you know what you're doing, you just ignore the GPS yelling at you.
Yeah.
It's just what we all do. We have a natural tendency, like, I know where I'm going. Fuck you. I'll get to, once I get, you know, to the part where I need you, then I'll listen closer. And so she just headed the wrong way.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're sitting there, right? And, you know, when you go to these restaurants in La Havana, you order an alcoholic beverage. So I don't drink. But at the same time, like,
neither do I, but I'm aware.
Yeah. So I'm like, I gotta order something that I'm like a man would drink, so I don't look stupid in front of this lady. So what do I pick? You ask?
Rum and Coke.
Nope. Bourbon.
Oh.
Rocks?
I don't drink.
You got it on the rocks though, right?
Yes.
All right. Let me see these. What kind of bourbon?
I don't even remember what the fuck it was. It got Spanish. So this is the thing. They have this thing in this restaurant, this place. When it comes specifically with the bourbon, they put an ash on the not the lid. What the fuck you call it?
The rim.
The rim of the cup.
Yeah.
Like a Cuban cigar, like a cigar ash. And they light it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I guess this is how bourbon come. Fuck it. So as I go to take a sip of it, the ash completely falls in the cup.
That's about right.
And now I'm like, fuck.
I don't want to drink this.
I don't want to drink this. But this was $12. And she's looking at me. You know what? Fuck it. I'll take a big ass swig of it.
No.
Like, whoo! Why did I pick this goddamn drink?
Oh shit!
Burning my chest up.
Mouth and chest on fire.
On fire. Cigar ash in my mouth. Because it was like a lit cigar.
Yeah. Why is that there? That's gross. I don't like that idea.
Yeah.
So we were speaking on this earlier in the day, and I was trying to come some drink orders from me and Delvin in the future. I said Jameson and ginger always got a vibe. It's got that alliterative nation to it, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little short ass order. Any bartender can whip that up. Amaretto sour, again, usually because it's served in a rocks glass, so it's got a look to it. Rum and Coke or Cuba Libre, same thing. But if you know what I'm saying, you down in Miami, so you can say Cuba Libre and you'll be all right. What's some other date drink options? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
until the point where he can order himself, sex on the beach and just have a good time.
Honestly, I feel like if the man doesn't drink, he should just order like a soft drink and just be honest about the fact that he doesn't drink.
See, this is the thing about that. You don't want to not order an alcoholic beverage, and she orders an alcoholic beverage. Because then it seems like you're trying to get her drunk.
Mm.
And I didn't want to feel like that.
Yeah.
What used to be my go-to, and like I think I drink more now than I probably ever have, and I really don't drink at all. But when I used to go to a bar, I used to get like a God, I think it was it called a Moonrise? But it used to be I forgot the name of this beer, but it was like you drink orange.
Oh yeah, the Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon, yeah. I've heard of that.
I'll drink because first of all, it doesn't taste good.
No.
I mean, so I'll be sipping on it, and you're actually just gonna sip on it because you don't like it. So just getting like a beer that you can take with or Corona, a Corona with
that
a
was
lime.
my go-to when I was younger.
Like
Because when I was younger, you used to go to clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 drink minimum.
And you gotta have
Corona.
a drink. Yeah, that used to be my thing. Like, get either a Corona with a lime, and I'll just ask for extra limes, or I will get a Blue Moon with extra orange. Or when I got older and I started to drink more, it would be tequila with pineapple juice, because it seems to match the the flavor palette. It seems to be very good together, and then tequila doesn't have any sugar in it, so you don't get any of the yucky after effects of you don't get
Sweet
dehydrated other drinks.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was actually going to talk about this. I'll talk about it now. For New Year's, I learned how to make French 75. It's a dope ass drink, y'all. It's a shot of gin. It is 2 ounces of prosecco. It is what is essentially half a shot of simple syrup.
Okay.
Half a shot of lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice. It matters. Shake it in a shaker. Pour it in a martini style glass with a twist.
Lemon twill.
One absolutely fantastic beverage. Something I've never had before, and I just happen to have all the ingredients for it except for lemons. I had to go run and get some lemons from the store, and it's just things I have on hand. I was like, that's dope, because I bought prosecco because Vanessa said she wanted prosecco for New Year's, and so I just copped prosecco for that. And what's funny is Vanessa's friend was talking about French 75s, and I'll go, oh, read it to me. I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. Shortly thereafter, a Bombay Sapphire Gin ad pops up in her Instagram talking about a French 75. I have a friend, Taylor Smurrow. He's a bartender, and he had posted a video either on a reel or on his TikTok. It was on his TikTok. I responded saying, "Oh, I'm making this beverage. It's a twist on a French 75, except it uses pomegranate simple syrup as opposed to simple syrup. I mean, as opposed to regular simple syrup." And I was just like, what is going on right now that drink just is in the zeitgeist? It's in the air all of a sudden. But it's just one of those things. I happen to have Hendrick's gin on hand currently right now, and so that's what the gin I had in the house. And Prosecco was just a nice bottle of Prosecco I got from I got a new liquor store in my town box. It's not the one at the town where we got the Eagle Rare from. It's another one coming back more toward the Y. Mm-hmm. And like I was like, so in Ohio, Delvin, you have to go to what's called state stores. You can't just go to the grocery store to get your liquor like you can in most states. well, I feel like Ohio and Pennsylvania got that weirdness. But so you got to go to a state that is a store that is state certified to sell liquor. And I hit this one up on the low because I was like, I think that's a state store. Let me go in. Let's go in there and see it because I dragged Xander along with me to go on missions for this particular day. I was like, you got to ride with your old man today. And I go in there. It's a perfect size store. It's quiet. It's just everybody coming and going. No, nothing to it. Everything's on the shelf, easy to get to, easily visible. Prices real like right there, so you know what's up. So I grab it, man. I come through. The dude at the counter is perfectly nice. All of a sudden, another person who must work there, black man, like he sees two black men buying stuff. He's like, "Oh, what's going on?" Y'all like, "Oh, what's good, baby?" I'm just saying it's because it's just a vibe. You know how we are. And so, and it was just like I was like, "Oh, that's the one." The one down the road, which is a bigger store and has a lot of options and stuff like that, is where all the kids go. So all the little youngins who are trying to go get their liquor for the first time or just, I'm saying, for the party, they be there. And this one seemed to be where all the grown men go. It was all just grown men. There was in and out of that store. And I was like, oh, okay, that's my new.
There's a place next to the Whole Foods too.
Where? Oh yeah, Minifields or whatever that shit is. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So learned about a new drink this week. French 75. That's another one, Delvin. I think it has a look to it. You know what I'm saying? That like, okay, it's got a look to it. It's not gasoline. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? You'll be burning a hole in your chest. And it's got a grown man. I was like, okay, this got a grown man to it. I feel it. Plus, I got to shake it. You know what I'm saying? I got to use the shaker to hook it up. You know what I'm saying? And my little Japanese jigger, which has two sides. I got some stuff, man. Me and Box had plans, y'all. Y'all never gonna know what this pandemic took from y'all. We're just gonna hook it up, bro. But so that's another one you can add to the menu of possible operations, man, of beverages. Does it seem like you're gonna go on the third date with this lady?
Well, she's texting me right now. Literally texting
Oh,
me right now.
nice.
On record, so
Hell yeah, that's what's up.
we probably go on the third date. Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it. Has any other ones popped up? You was like, maybe.
Oh, it's been a few. Like I said, it's an interesting experience, man. It's like
So
It's-
let me.
go ahead,
I'm
man.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just curious because I didn't approach things like this necessarily when I was doing it, which is in hindsight probably was a mistake. But do you talk to and go out with multiple people? Like you're not just focused on one person. Like, are you dating multiple people at the same time, or are you you one person gets your attention until that's over and then you move to the next person?
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm trying both, I want to say. And I'll tell you why. I'm still getting used to the fact that mentally and by all circumstances, I am single. So while I'm trying to find a partner, I'm not tied down to anyone. Because I've been tied down to somebody for so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's foreign to me to be like, all right, let me talk to this one. Let me talk to this one. Let me talk to that one. Plus, that shit is tiring.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If you're sitting here talking to 3 or 4 girls at the same time, all of them require your attention, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was always the type of person who I wouldn't really get fully invested until I actually knew that I had an interest in the person. I wasn't just willing to just talk to people just to talk to people. And I think that may have been a flaw in my strategy because people are so flaky that you
Yes.
really you lose out a lot of ROI on your time if you put all your eggs into one basket and then that basket just decides to never text you back one day.
Yeah. I've learned that experience really early. I told this on the So Tell Me episode. I was talking to a chick, and she was really into God. Apparently, this was her thing.
It's such a good story, y'all. Y'all need to be down with Delvin's Patreon so y'all can be getting down with So Tell Me. It's $1 a month, people. He ain't trying to break your bank. His Patreon better than my Patreon, I'll tell you that.
So I'll get to the end of the story. So we finally set up a date, right? We've been talking for weeks. And she been digging me because like there's one weird moment we had where she just like randomly says, "Can I FaceTime call you?" Like, what the fuck? Like out the blue, and then she calls. Like in the middle of the day, I'm at work and everything. Like, then she's like, "Oh, I want to see if you're a real person." That's a weird, random thing to do. This at any point in time. So we finally set up this date and stuff like that. And throughout the week, she's telling me these things about herself, like she's bipolar, she's this, she's that. When we first started talking, she told me that she was going to therapy and stuff like that. She never told me the reason, but she too was like telling me like I go to therapy every week and talk to my therapist, and she like while we were talking, she was telling me that she was talking to her therapist about me. I'm like, okay, that's cool, because she hadn't been on the dates in a while and stuff like that. So that's cool. So we're getting to the week we're going to go on a date. My son, being my son, who he is, I notice he's sick. So I'm like, son, stay away from me. Because I have a date, don't want to get sick. My son's a very affectionate, good kid. So, of course, he doesn't pay attention to any of that shit. Of course, he gets me fucking sick. So now I'm sick. And I'm like, well, I text her early. I text her like 3 days in advance. Like, hey, I'm feeling under the weather. My son was sick. I think he got me sick. I'm not going to cancel the date, but I'm just letting you know in advance. Oh, we can cancel the date. Like, god damn. Like, all right, we can cancel. I said, we ain't got to go, because I've always told her, like, we don't have to go on a date if you don't want to. If you're not coming, we don't have to go on a date, stuff like that. And then she sends me a message. It was a sign from God. If I would pray to God. If God didn't want this date to happen, send me a sign. I'm like, God damn, you wanted God to get me sick? So you could have just said no. Not wish illness on your boy. Like, I think I said, oh wow, you could have just said you didn't want to go on a date. Like, you didn't have to like on me, essentially. But she was like, yeah, I can't remember the quote she said. She said something weird. I'm like, all right, we're not talking no more.
I'm always fascinated by people who feel like the major decisions in their life they have absolutely no control over, and that it's just like divine intervention.
I will say this: there are a lot of people on there who are very religious, which I'm fine with. I don't have a problem with that at all. But it's a little weird when you use that religion to guide your dating. And
well, but that's a product of faith, though, right? Like,
well,
you feel like if you put your faith in this deity or however you want to say it, that they'll provide the direction for your life. That includes dating,
I understand that aspect of it, but there are preferences that you have on your dating profile. Like, if you see like a brother, like for example, mine's, because Facebook dating has like, your favorite groups, your favorite albums, your favorite things you like to do. If you see a motherfucker who has Nas, Wu-Tang Clan, and stuff like that in his profile, maybe that's not the Christian guy you want to be dating. Just saying. If you see like, hey, this dude listens to Nas, Wu-Tang Clan, yeah, I think I believe in God on that. But I also am a hip hop head. I let people know that I'm a hip hop head. I watch. I play video games. I'm straight up honest about my shit. Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm an NFL scout. No, I play fucking video games. I play video games. I watch sports. I listen to hip hop. That's me. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you who I'm not.
And that's why I thought that you shouldn't have to order an alcoholic drink if you don't want to. Because you are telling these people who you are, and if you don't want to drink, you're just doing it to make the other person comfortable. I guess that's admirable, but it's not what you want,
Yeah, they don't care. They don't give a fuck about it. They
But the right one will. Divine intervention, man.
they care about them being comfortable. They don't give a fuck about me being comfortable
Facts.
at all. They be like,
That'll never stop.
Well, you're a man. Society doesn't give a fuck what you want or your happiness.
Yeah, they're like, fuck that. Nah, I have to be comfortable.
Yeah, often I have to be cold in my own house
Yes.
in the summertime because the air have to be cold, turned down. Let me see that. Come on, bro.
You want to know something crazy about weather or temperature in the house? My partner she will turn down the heat to the house, but then have a space heater on by herself.
If you don't know, right now in my bedroom above me right now is my lady with the space heater sitting on her on deck to make my room up. I go to bed at night and I'm like, it's like a fucking sauna in here. What is we doing?
I'm glad you mentioned that. I work. I'm a property manager. Run a business with my grandmother. My grandmother likes the office. How do I say this nicely? Hot. So every time she come in, she'd be like, "It's so cold." I'm like, "Grandma, AC's at 78 degrees. It's freezing in here." I'm like, "Well, we might as well just turn the AC the fuck off." and that's what I end up doing. Like, she's like, it feels good. Like, because it's 86 degrees in the office in Miami weather. Think about that. 86 degrees in Miami weather. I'm sitting there at my desk sweating. I'm hot. I'm clearly hot. Sweating through my shirt.
Are you at least wearing those like loose shirts like you would see in like the beaches and whatnot, like the clubs?
No,
like
I'm wearing a polo t-shirt to work with my company's logo on it. And I'm hot as fuck, sweating through it.
You're describing my head.
Yeah, I'm like, and I'm not as healthy as I once was. I'm not fat, but I'm on the age where I'm getting a dad bod and stuff like that, and I'm just sweating all through that shit. I'm like, oh, this is terrible.
Lord.
And
maybe that's her plan. She's trying to sweat it off you, but without telling you because she loves you.
And she's just fine. She's just like, oh, it feels good in here. Like, to who? Everybody else in the office is sweating except you. But that's how you gotta be. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice.
All right. One more about the dating. How long have you? I guess. What's your average at this point? Of I've talked to you this long. We should probably go out on a date. Like the time frame situation.
I want to say 2 weeks.
Okay.
A week, 2 weeks, kind of like to get to know each other, see where it goes, and kind of gauge what we like and what we don't like.
Okay.
And plus, see if the conversation keeps going. Yeah. That's a whole other thing. Like, when you're on Facebook dating, because I don't check Facebook at all. I hate Facebook. Facebook's an awful app. It is a terrible, terrible app. Facebook is the app that you see the people that you know and you see who they really are. And then you start realizing, I don't really like this person. Like Twitter, people are pretending who they are, but okay. This is your Twitter personality. This is clearly your Twitter personality. Facebook, because it's so personal, people put their like real name on there and all that shit.
Yeah.
This is who this person really is. When you start seeing your cousin post some weird shit, like, you are a fucking goof. So I never go on Facebook because Facebook had me not liking people. But I like I said, I thought the Facebook dating thing was interesting because I'm like, this makes sense to me. Because you can it's safe. I will say this for you guys, and this is especially for you, Lunch, because you're dating. Do you have Facebook, Lunch?
I do. I haven't posted on it in over 3 years.
That's fine. If you decide to use Facebook dating, be aware that the algorithm knows you're using it. So you'll start getting weird suggestions in Facebook. Like one of the ones I got, I kid you fucking not. Prison pen pals. Where you can pen pal a woman in prison.
Talk about JPay?
Not JPay. No, you can like pen pals. You can have a woman pen pal via Facebook. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I've seen like the women advertising on TikTok for like putting money on their prison books in exchange for like, communicating back and forth and shit.
Oh, is that like prison Onlyfans?
So JPay is the website that the prisons use for commissary books. And, some women I guess get access to phones somehow. So they'll do little little TikTok videos where they're like, put some money on my books and we can talk, that kind of shit.
That is wild.
Yeah, that tells you a lot about our criminal justice system. Sheesh.
Yeah. That tells you a lot about men. We sit there and see that shit like, you know what? That's a good idea.
Man, I follow an account called Mug Shotties. And it's just, it's just an Instagram and Twitter account of a guy. He's just like a 20-some-year-old dude. And he just posts mugshots of women who may or may not be attractive to people. And it's amazing the amount of people, I haven't said it before myself, we're like, she didn't do nothing wrong. I can fix her. And it'll be like, she murdered her husband in cold blood after he wouldn't pass the hot sauce for her burrito. And be like, he had it coming.
It was one in our group chat somebody sent the other day where it was a young lady. She was like, yeah, and I'll be out in 18 months. Hit me up on my JPay. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Nah. Ain't finna take all my shit out of my house.
But it was funny though, he posted one the other day and people were commenting on it, and then the woman who was in the mugshot saw it and started replying to people and actually replied to one dude who's like, I would, and she's like, would you? And then they actually like communicated where they were gonna exchange information.
Wow.
And she was like arrested for like domestic violence or something.
Oh, she beating people's ass. Oh, fuck
yeah.
That's all these free women out here who not beating people's ass. You want to pick the one that's locked up beating people's ass. If she's locked up beating people's ass, she's good at beating people's ass.
But he can change her.
These solid women just need to learn how to market themselves better.
Yeah, she's throwing a solid goddamn left hook.
Left hook. You know what I'm saying?
It's insane. No way.
All right, people. You've heard Delvin's dating experience, and you see the wisdom that he is dating with. I want you, if you're in this realm of dating or considering getting back into the realm of dating, to take the advice out from this. You know what I'm saying? About a couple of weeks of chat before you whatever. Don't go no further than that. You know what I'm saying? Because you go further than that, you fuck it up.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks. Try to set a date. If everybody's like, I ain't trying to go on a date, all right, then cool. Then we don't need to have this conversation anymore. We're gonna walk away from it all. It's okay for you to pay for a date, gentleman. It's okay if you want to pay for a date, lady.
Yeah.
But establish those boundaries when setting the date. That way, when everybody knows what they plan for. Separate vehicles for the first couple of dates, at least.
Yes, very important to do that.
It's just a smart play. You never want to be caught somewhere you don't want to be in. So you know what I'm saying? That is okay to whatever. Make sure they photographs are within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because when you find out somebody took a picture,
they could do it like eBay. Like you have to hold a piece of paper with today's date on it.
I need what is it called? What is it called? That's got a specific name. Like life check or some shit, whatever the fuck it is.
I don't know about all that, but I will tell you one pet peeve that I've had on the. Admittedly, I haven't tried to date anyone in 2 years. There was a woman, the last person I tried to like do anything with, fucking COVID happened. We've been talking like during the beginning of COVID, and we talked for like a couple months, but it was like the world was in upheaval. People weren't doing anything. And I think she got mad that I went to a couple Browns games rather than like try to like go out with her, even though like, where were we going to go? You know? But so she kind of like cut me off cold turkey one day, and which was fine. You know, I get it. But my one pet peeve that I always had when perusing dating profiles on those apps was I couldn't stand it when someone's entire profile was just pictures of them with internet filters on. because you have no fucking idea what the person actually looks like.
Yeah.
It's a trap. Just like, I'm trying to know who you are, not what Instagram filter you decided to slap on your face on this one. Like, I don't need to see you with dog ears or with a floral leaf on your forehead or like digitally enhanced eyelashes that you don't actually have. Just like, put who you are.
Yeah. Or my favorite, your Instagram, your profile is a quote. Like, okay, what the fuck am I doing with this? I can't date letters. Like,
Which is why I signed off on the lady, though she was she had her own little faith issues. A FaceTime call. If you're on Google, what's the Google FaceTime call? I forgot what it's called.
Hangouts?
Nah, let me see if I still have it on my
Duo.
phone. Google Duo.
Don't sound right.
Google Duo, FaceTime if you're on an iPhone. Just a quick one. This where you find out if y'all gonna go on a date or not. Like, okay, hey, before anything else, again, set these boundaries. Can we do a quick FaceTime, Google Duo? You know what I'm saying? Let's just get a quick look at each other and see if we gonna be bothered.
Yeah.
And just do it. Just like I said, everything like I said, Delvin came with wise information, which is another reason I want him on the show. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew he's gonna come through with some real talk, some that street knowledge mission, and let you know what it is to be dating here in 2023. It is challenging in its own right, but also seems like you're having a good time.
Yeah, I am.
I like that.
One more thing I want to tell people. It's okay to go off superficial stuff first. What I mean by that is people try to make it seem like, oh, I have to fall in love with this person because of their words and their signs. No. The first thing people usually like is the looks. It's okay to look at a picture like, oh, this person's attractive. Let me get to know this person. I think people kind of miss that aspect of it. They try like, oh, let me go through all this. I'm not saying just go for the shallowness of it, but in attraction, the first thing people usually notice is the looks.
Yeah.
It's okay to acknowledge that.
Most people have a preference. Like, I don't say everybody, because there is like a subset of people who, like, for them, intelligence or personality they're drawn to and not looks off. But the majority of people are instinctively drawn off of looks, like what they're into. And yeah, so like, you don't try and date people necessarily for who they are. You appreciate those things about them, but yeah, you're right. Looks are like what draw you in, and then it's the personality and the morals, everything that keep you around.
Don't settle. Go for what you like. And I say this because I find if you settle, you're cheating that person out of a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if you don't like the person like that, if you don't find a person physically attractive, what justice are you doing that person? Because obviously, if you don't find them attractive enough to date them, but you're almost like you're leading them on. So just be honest. If you don't find that person attractive, just move on and go to somebody you find attractive and kind of build from there. But also, on the same note, know that also can be done to you.
Yeah.
So be respectful towards people. Be respectful. Go for what you want so you don't lead people on. I think that's one of the main things. You don't want to hurt feelings and stuff like that. You don't want to go on a date with a person you don't really want to date. That's important.
There you go, people. 2023 dating for the more rarefied gentlemen in this case. You know what I'm saying? Look, you got a few years on your belt. I have no idea what y'all 20-year-olds, 20-somethings is doing.
Yeah, they doing Tinder. Swipe right.
But for the rest of us, well, not me, because I'm never gonna date again in my entire life. I promise you. I swear for God, I'll never date again, bruh.
Much like the Undertaker, this is the last ride, baby. After this is over. So whoever I get with, we are in for the bus out. Like, all right, this is it.
That's a good start to the year, and so that's what's up. I'm not going to even give y'all a plain old Jane show this week. We're going to immediately jump to the mean streets of Reddit and see what's popping in the realm of amateur assholes. I have a packed set of amateur assholes to get this year started, and I think that is a good thing. So I'm gonna give you guys some options. Let's take two. Let's take two of these, and whichever two the two are is a two R. So let's start. Am I the asshole for telling my parents that they ruined my New Year's celebration after they kicked my husband out over a joke? Am I the asshole for moving my son into a rental apartment after finding out his dad's been canceling his job application? Would I be the asshole if I didn't let my husband attend the baby shower or birth of our child? That one is very interesting. I'll give you that. And am I the asshole for refusing to share my lottery winnings with my boyfriend's nephews?
I feel like number 2 and number 3 are the ones that I was interested in.
I'm leaning the same.
I'll go majority.
Fair enough. Am I the asshole for moving my son into a rental apartment after finding out that his dad's been canceling his job applications? My son, Aiden, 23, moved back in with us upon graduating college as my husband wanted. My husband's original plan was to have Aiden live with us for free, but stay home and help with his disabled younger brother, 16. Aiden started complaining about needing money and wanted to find a job. My husband was against this and even offered to double his allowance, but Aiden was growing tired of staying home.
These are white people.
100%.
So he began looking for jobs here and there for over a year, but none of his job applications came through. He just applied and they never get back with him. We were confused by this till recently I found out that my husband was behind all the job applications being canceled. He waits till Aiden applies, then he proceeds to cancel the application by impersonating him and using his email. I blew up at him for this, but his justification is that he's just trying to make sure our younger son is cared for by Aiden, and said that Aiden has been a big help and him getting a job will affect his care for his brother. I went ahead and rented an apartment for Aiden and told him to stay there until he finds a job and starts paying for it himself. Aiden was hurt upon knowing what his dad did. My husband was livid when he found out. He called me unhinged and said separating the boys and teaching Aiden to become selfish and care more about a job than family. He also said it was a huge decision for me to rent an apartment without even running it with him. He's been giving me hell about it and is calling me terrible mother for encouraging Aiden to be selfish and self-centered. He said I need to see and understand why he did what he did. Edit, a few things to mention. 1, my husband says that since he and I have health issues, then we could use Aiden's help too, I'm saying. 2, when I suggested help, outside help, my husband refused, saying he won't ask anything from anybody and that his son is his problem and nobody else's. 3, I used money from our joint account to pay for the apartment. My husband said it was wrong and that it was a major waste of money since we deal with medical bills consistently. Is this person an asshole?
I don't think so.
No.
Not at all. No. The husband's a complete asshole.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why. Aiden, that's the son thing, the 23-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 23-year-old man trying to start a life, trying to build a future for himself. And you're fucking holding him back from doing that. Hindering him to the point where you're trying to make him stay in a situation that is not his responsibility. Yes, it's his brother. I'm quite sure he loves his brother. He wants to take care of his brother. Yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, he has to build a life for himself and become successful for the greater good of the family. So he can be able to come back and say, hey, let me help my brother out now. I make money now.
Yeah.
The fact that the dad is trying to make him like, no, you have to stick with us and stick on this level with us and sacrifice your life for God knows how long. There's no time I can understand if you're like, okay, for this year, Aiden, you have to stick with us and kind of.
I mean, if it's his job, that could be forever.
Yeah, that could be forever. You can't stop this young man's growth. You have to let him grow up and be a man and live his life and himself so he can help his family.
Yeah.
And the mother's 100% right. And the fact that his dad went behind his back and was canceling his job applications is fucked up.
Yeah.
But that
The way they described it too, like that's got to be like a crime or something, right? Impersonation.
Yeah, it probably is.
Like some sort of fraud.
Yeah. That dude sound wildly fraudulent.
Could you imagine you're applying for all these jobs and you don't know why you're getting like for a year, and you're a 23-year-old man, you don't know why you're not getting looks at none of them.
College graduate can't get a single call back.
That is
Kind of makes
that's
you
a
wonder
fucking
how
thing to do.
resourceful the dad is too. That he knows everywhere that the son's applied and was able to dig it up and call and be like, "Oh, you know that application I just put in? Ignore it."
Yeah, he make him
That's
sound
pretty
like
fucked up.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah. Bruh. Ant, you got anything on this one?
No, she's not the asshole. That Dr. Doom is.
Well, we have, of course, one big pink glow-in-the-dark comment, so we always gets a little love when we see those. This is Maestro Ennis, who doesn't have an M and asshole title, so he must not oftentimes post in this subreddit. But he says, not the asshole. I don't understand what the long-term goal is here. What happens when the parents pass away or move into hospice care themselves? What if his brother ends up needing expensive professional care? Is Aid supposed to just hope the government will support him? Or will a 30-plus-year-old with no job history going to magically get a high-paying job with great insurance to cover his and his brother's needs? Even with the job market being tight, no one will take a chance on an adult with no job history, no sign of being self-sufficient, and no upkeep in skills. It would be immensely difficult to start working life as a very mature adult. Not only is this abusive, but it's almost criminally stupid in how short-sighted it is. Stand your ground. Your husband either doesn't understand he's destroying both his sons' lives, or he just doesn't care. That comment does it all and says it all. And man, that one had your boy riled up. I was like, get the fuck up right out of here. How dare you do this to this person?
It's fucked up.
It's very fucked up. Fucked up in a fucked up way that's gonna make this next one, well, even more fucked up. So next one, real fucked up. Y'all ain't ready for this burner. Would I be the asshole if I didn't let my husband attend the baby shower or birth of our child? My husband, 29, and I, 28, have a daughter, 3. He was happy when I told him she was a girl. We're having another, and when I had my ultrasound, I was told it was another girl. Again, my husband was happy. Turns out I was told wrong, and it's actually a boy we're having. And my husband freaked out in excitement. His reaction as having a boy was nothing like either of his reactions to having a girl. He was actually jumping around and yelling. He immediately called all his friends and family. He kept hugging and swinging our daughter around and telling her she's getting a brother. I confronted him about not being this excited about having girls. And he said, because I wanted a boy. I got so pissed off. I don't want him at the baby shower. I guess it's not really a baby shower as we're not asking for anything, but still. Or the birth. He thought I was kidding at first, but once he realized I was serious, that's literally how she wrote it. So, but once he realized I serious, got really upset and started an argument over it. Would I be the asshole if I didn't let him attend the baby shower or birth?
Yeah.
Edit. No edit there?
Oh, no. You would hope there'd be more. Yeah, you're a colossal fucking asshole. And only reason I'm not even more whatever about this is because you're pregnant and hormones is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can slightly see why the person's upset. Like, his reaction must have been a motherfucker for her to be like, "Dude, you that happy? And I just told you were having a girl and you didn't say shit." But at the end of the day, it's excitement for what you guys have together. So cut that shit out.
Let's be frankly honest. Guys want to have sons because they want to do the things that they do. It's just like a lot of women want to have daughters. There's a lot of women who want to have daughters because they want to do the things like, hey, we go do our nails together and stuff like that. There's a certain bond you can have with your kids like that. And he wasn't mad. She said it. He wasn't mad that he found out he was going to have a second daughter. He was happy, she said. He just got more happy when he found out he was having a son. because deep down inside he wanted a son as well. And I think that's something that happens with a lot of guys. A lot of guys want have
Not
sons
even-
to carry on.
Not even deep down. He just wanted a son.
Yeah.
Surface level shit.
Yeah.
And was honest about it. Like, yeah, I wanted a son.
Yeah.
I wanted my wife when we were married discussed this. Wanted 2 kids, wanted one of each, caught all the Pokemon, called that shit a night.
Yep.
So it's what initially we had, and it was fine. I was neither more excited or less excited about anything because, like I said, when we made Xander, it was a challenge, and so y'all, like I said, long time listeners know to deal with that. That was not easy. I just like, oh, hey, I knocked my lady up. No, it was involved. It was a process. So I was just happy that we successfully made a child in that situation. And Lee is technically a rainbow baby because he was a child that came after a miscarriage. And so, again, I was just happy to have a kid. I was great. I was like, cool. I got kids. That's all the nigga wanted. And so that worked out for me. But this dude, saying clearly, like Delvin just said, he wanted a boy, and that's okay to want. It's okay to want, and I don't think it's fucked up to have wanted. Also, again, like I said, this woman is pregnant. You cannot be pissy to this lady for being like, man, that shit felt fucked up to me in a fucked up way because she might be feeling this way today and not feeling that way tomorrow, and that's okay too.
And that's the thing. If she doesn't let him, the baby shower's one. You can fuck about that.
Yeah.
If she makes that guy miss the birth of his child, he might hold that against her.
He will. There's no mites.
He should.
Like for a long time. That shit will come up for like ever.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
No.
That's the kind of thing where I feel like it would eventually lead to a divorce.
For sure.
Yeah, it could. Yeah. You can't do that.
No. And in the end, I don't think that would happen anyway. We got a big glowing comment. This is from Kim MJW, who at this point is a participant because they have all these very wacky puns in this group. You're the asshole. Not wanting your husband to attend a baby shower and or the birth of his own child because he's excited about having a son, which you interpret years later as him having been insufficiently excited for your personal taste about having a daughter is honestly one of the most mind-numbingly dumb and assholish things I've ever read in this sub. Not only are you the asshole, you're the asshole 1,000 times over. You gotta settle down, Kim MJW.
I don't know if it's like fuck you.
She's not adhering to your rule of being nice to the pregnant lady.
Nah, not at all.
The other day you sent a video on Instagram where the lady's like, "You think I'm the asshole?" I wish I would have knew what am I the asshole she was on.
She said she erased it.
Oh man,
because she was like, okay, apparently I'm the asshole. So that made me chuckle. She said she went back and erased it and accepted she was the asshole for whatever she was beefing with, and I was like, damn, that's wild. So, yeah. Oh, wait, here we go. We got one more glow in the dark comment, and we'll wrap that up. This is from Purple Rose 78. Why can't your girl be your mini-me? I act way more like my dad than I do my mom, and I'm a girl. My brother acts more like my mother than I do. Like, I get that you're excited about having a boy, but if my partner was way more excited about having a boy than a girl, I would think he has some internalized sexism that he needed to deal with. Because girls can do anything a boy can do just without male genitalia. I played sports until my younger brother grew his own football players.
What?
I don't know. I would go out there and toss the ball with him. I love Barbies and Hot Wheels. I have bee hunting. I assume Ben hunting, and I have girl cousins that love to hunt, camp, and hike. Any typically male pursuits. I probably know a girl or woman who is great at it. What is going on? Why is this glowing in the dark? Like, open up your mind. Or maybe they were responding to somebody that was like it was beefing or something.
Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I understand where the lady was coming from, but I know how that could have hurt her feelings. that he was more
Sure.
excited about
Yeah.
it. But to kick him out of the the baby shower, was Delvin said like, "Hey, that ain't really our shit to begin with."
And we don't care about
Like,
that.
but to kick him out the room, to cut the umbilical cord, because like you need there to be supportive, because like we were talking about this the other day. Um, I was talking about when my youngest son was born. I was like, I got to see you first because you're the father. You're there for support. You are the
Yeah.
person who sees them first. And then my partner was like, but I held you in here. I was like, yeah, but I see it first. So, with me, it's we have a purpose, and just because you're mad about it doesn't take away our purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it beautifully, because I mean that was the same thing I kind of thought. Like I could understand her frustration and his reaction, but that like, she took it to the extreme of trying to like put him in his place about it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why you couldn't be happy that he's happy. It's like, why not celebrate your partner's joy?
I
As
mean,
opposed,
think of it like, oh man, a titty, but then they pull out the other titty. You're like, oh my god, two titties. You're still excited about titties.
Yeah,
You just got both of you got what you wanted, like in
Twice
more,
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they're beautiful dark areolas, like because you're
There you
pregnant.
go.
I love them brown ass areolas when you're pregnant. Man, those is good. They taste great.
Tastes great, less filling.
No, they more filling. They got cantaloupe juice.
holy smokes. That was your Am I the Assholes for the week in the realm of entertainment. I am playing Horizon Forbidden West, and I am enamored with this game. I'm just going hard with it. It's fucked up because my kid is trying to play Last of Us Part 1, and I'll be like, fuck man, I'm trying to get on my game right now, but I'm gonna let you play because I'm gonna let you. It was a Christmas present, so. But your man's over here. I'm trying to get down because I love this game. I've been playing it at lunch. I've been taking actual lunches from work, like literally leaving work, signing out. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time I kind of float around the desk and like kind of dime in and out, but no, straight up leaving, going to sit on my couch, play some Horizon in the middle of the damn day. That game has me open, and I fucking love it. I just finished the audiobook. Number one fan. It's by Meg Elison. It was real good, and I think I fuck with that book. It's in the vein of Misery, Stephen King like type book.
Okay.
An author, a female author, is kidnapped by a dude who yeah, I don't want to give it away though, man.
Number one fan.
Number one fan, Meg Elison, Meglison. I will definitely put it in the show notes. I got it on Libby Ant, so it's like, you know what I'm saying. So it's readily available in our local libraries, or if you have Libby in your neck of the woods, you should probably give it a listen or read as well. I'm a audiobook guy, and it was really great. And again, I would tell you to get down with that. It was really an amazing book, and I was like 11 hours, and I just ate that shit in like 2 days, man.
And is Meg Ellison?
Yeah, Elison.
SON.
Yeah,
Found
It's
it on that
not
Audible.
available for Calhoun County.
yeah. So I hadn't returned it yet because I was Vanessa was kind of like, I think I want to listen to it. I'm like, all right, I will leave it in the old Libby account for right now. So that has been my entertainment for the week. Besides, like I said, it's been video game and that book. What about you, Ant?
Actually, been on Libby pretty tough with so HBO had a mini series about the Showtime Lakers called Showtime.
Yeah,
I like that the show. I don't know why it took me so long to watch it, but it did. But I've been listening to the book. The book is like fucking 16 hours. It's 18 hours and 21 minutes.
that's a day's worth of book.
Shit, it's been a week. And I'm 14 hours in. I've been listening to that. I know like far as like watching stuff, I've been watching one of me and Dan's old favorites, flipping Flipper Flop on Discovery Plus. I know I wasn't quite sure what season I was on, so I just started like I went 2 seasons back, so I'm like doing season 10 started with season 10. This is clearly after they had already got divorced and stuff because they be jabbing each other and stuff like, oh, you didn't do that when we were together, or look at you. Like, example of that is like Turek, the ex-husband, he had like I guess shaved his chest and she could see a little bit. She's like, what's you ain't got no chest hair? And he was like, yeah, I kind of, was trying something. He was like, you got an arm? What are you doing? Yes, it was hilarious. And then she was like, you been working out? What's wrong? Look at what's good. It's like jabs like that throughout the show. It's so natural and it's so funny. It's still a good show. But that's what I've been pretty much watching this week because my kids are home from I guess winter vacation, and I can't really watch like stuff I would like to watch. Not necessarily because it'll be bad, because they'll want to come over here and watch it too and sit down. And I'm like, man, you got homework to be doing. So that's what I've been entertaining myself with this week.
The show you're watching, you said, is it Winning Time?
Showtime. I finished the show and I've been listening to the book on the audio book lately. It's about the Showtime Lakers. They and like to mention they got a season 2 now, so hopefully the book is 18 hours. I know that, and they got plenty of storylines to go off of. And all they talk about right now, they talk about Magic Johnson just being such a man whore. Like that's all they talk about. Like this one part in the book.
I think Winning Time was the show that where they acted.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah,
and but you watched. You said you.
Oh,
he watched the guy who who writes Winning Time.
Okay, and like where
Jeff Pearlman?
No. So you watching the documentary, right? And
no, the show was like a fictionalized show on HBO Max.
Oh yeah, that's Winning Time.
That's Winning Time. That's the Rodney Barnes writes that. He's been on my show. Great deal.
Okay,
great show. Excellent show.
Nice. All right, very good.
Is he doing writing the season 2 as well?
If I'm correct, yes, he is.
Okay.
Excellent.
He wrote a whole bunch of shit. He also writes comic books. Oh, he's
okay.
For those who are interested, he's creating a Blackula comic book series.
Oh,
nice.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Die, Blackula, die.
Yes.
In case y'all want to take it back to the 70s and get down with some whatevers. And man, I mean, forgive me, Dan, what have you been up to this week?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did I finish House of Dragons by the time we recorded last week?
Yes.
Okay. Since then, I've mainly watched sports because in Ohio, sports betting is legal now. So, Saturday I watched the Ohio State game. Sunday was NFL all day. Monday I had bowling, so I wasn't home in the evening. And we met up in the afternoon, the three of us here.
Yeah.
Tuesday I watched the Cavs. Wait, no.
Yeah, that was 71 point night. You had to have been there.
No, 71 point was Monday.
Oh, you missed that because you was at bowling?
I saw most of it at the bowling alley.
Okay.
And then we finished up and I watched the rest of overtime. So they had the Cavs game on the TV in our station. Because it's almost every other lane has 3 TVs. So they had the Cavs game on for a while. Then when Monday Night Football started, they switched it over.
Yeah.
So obviously, the event happened. They kept it on the TV for a little bit, but when it became pretty clear that it was really bad and they weren't gonna do anything anytime soon, the alley switched it back over to the Cavs game. Okay. So I saw from as they turned it off at near the end of the third quarter, I saw basically the last couple minutes of the fourth, and then I stuck around and watched overtime.
Okay.
So Tuesday, I honestly can't remember what the hell I did Tuesday. I probably just watched YouTube or something. And then
Yeah.
yesterday, I watched like the first half of the Cavs game, and then I watched wrestling. And then tonight, I'm here with you, fine gentlemen.
Very good.
While I have the Clippers currently down by 40 on the TV next to me.
Down by 40.
Sorry, they're down by 41.
And they're playing who?
Denver.
Wow.
Okay, I'll allow for
It
it.
is currently 82 to 41.
Sheesh. Man.
The Clippers took all their starters out to start the second half. Like, they came out of halftime, and all the bench players are in.
Today's the homie Carl Tart's birthday, and I'm saying that this is the gift that his team is giving him.
Yeah, I just thought that in the back of my head.
I immediately went to Instagram to see if he was putting anything in the IG stories.
Nah, poor guy. Del, man, what you been watching or doing or experiencing this week that you care to share?
I'm still playing and enjoying God of War Ragnarok. Fantastic game. That game has a hell of a story, man. Kratos is that dude.
Nice.
I want to say Kratos, out of all the video game characters, Kratos might be the one that's shown the most growth over the span of his gaming history.
Nice.
What I mean by that is, like, you had like the original God of War trilogy where he's almost this machismo-ish character who's banging chicks and killing guys and almost kind of the antithesis of dude bro gamer guy. Like, it's Kratos. He's manly man. Then you get to these God of War games that they have now, and he's like this silent yet strong dad who kind of just wants the best for his son.
Yeah.
And he's trying to figure it out.
Lost his wife. It's like it's a real fucked up history for Kratos finally get his shit together. Moves to the Nordic parts of the world, tries to make a family, and this is the results. Man, this is fucked up.
It's fucked up, and the cool thing about it is, what I find fascinating is, in the original God of War trilogy, he lost his family. Spoilers for a 30-year-old game at this point. he lost his family and said, "Fuck this. I'm killing everyone."
Yeah.
In this game, he's a lot more. He lost his wife. Like, you know what? This is part of life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the best I can to be the best dad I can. I think you don't really get that in video games when you have the father and son connection. You always kind of get the father and the surrogate daughter thing in video games, like Ellie and Joel type relationship.
Yeah.
But you don't really get the father and son thing, and I think that's a fascinating yet cool thing to do in video games that we kind of need to see more of. Dads being dads, I think that's great.
I don't know if it's the next thing I'm going to play, but it is over here on the shelf. I said I'm going to go through Horizon, and then I think I want to play Bayonetta 3 is what I want to run through next after that. But we'll see how this all plays out, man. Games, I love them. What else? You watching anything? You reading anything?
I watched the whole Sonic new series. It's fun. It's a fun kid show. I think, what is it called? Sonic.
I didn't know they had a new series.
It's on Netflix. It's Sonic. I have to look at it. It's going to drive me crazy. It's
probably called like Sonic Chili Glizzies or something like that.
Oh my god!
But it's pretty good. It's I don't want to say it's a mature Sonic show. It's a Netflix Sonic show. It's kind of what you expect from it. Looks good. It's fun. Sonic Prime. That's the name of it. It's something cool to watch with your kids that you kind of enjoy. And Sonic right now lately is doing pretty good. Homie not missing.
But is he making shots?
Apparently so. The show's doing good.
Yeah.
The game is surprisingly good. The movies are actually decent.
Yeah.
I do like the movies.
Yeah, so I can.
Yeah. I give it up. We'll give it up. They have worked that hedgehog proper to get him going. That game looks so shitty to me in previews that it's hard for me to believe that it turned out well in production.
Yeah,
but
it's surprising.
Yeah,
it's really surprising.
That
the
is
other thing I'm watching is Wednesday.
Okay.
Show's dope.
And of course, we find out this week that the company that made it was sold to Amazon. or it is not going to be coming back on Netflix, and it would have to be them cutting some kind of deal. And it's this great show. It's well reviewed. It's well rated as well. So to get them to produce it over on Amazon is going to take some steps, but hopefully that works itself out.
Is that accurate? Because I read that it's staying on Netflix because of the prior agreement.
Yeah, nobody says it's going anywhere. Netflix cancels shows all the time that are still just there. It's just canceled.
No. I mean, aren't you saying that they're talking about putting season 2 on Amazon?
No, I'm saying they're saying they may not be able to make more because of this deal.
Because of the deal.
So, yeah. Like nothing at all. Not that you will definitely get some more on Amazon. It's more likely you won't get anything because of the way this has played out. So
that's
sucks.
a shame because I think it's a really good take on Wednesday.
Yeah,
it almost feels like a CW show if they put a lot of budget into it and got some really good actors to do it. And
that's what Sabrina was. Sabrina Teenage or Sabrina. I don't know if they called it Sabrina Teenage. I think they just called it Sabrina. Sabrina, of course, was a more higher budget Riverdale. You know what I'm saying? They spent more money and had effects and so forth and so on. So
yeah, it makes sense because also You was, I think it was on Lifetime, but it seemed like a CW show that's a little bit, give you a little bit of uppercut in it. And she was on that show too. I think she was on season 2.
I dig CW. To give CW credit, I know people shit on CW all the time. CW has really good ideas for shows that if they had a little bit more budget behind it and a little bit more backing, they could be really good shows. A good example is Arrow. Like season 1 of Arrow is pretty good. It actually is really good. But as the seasons go on, you can start to see, all right, we're cutting the budget on it and stuff like that. You can see the declining. And I think that they have a lot of ideas for a lot of their shows that I think are kind of like that. They're like, Riverdale probably could be that in that same vein where you can, this idea itself is good, but they don't just have the budget behind it. They had a sci-fi show on there that was really good. I can't remember the name of it. It was like a sci-fi show where these kids were like on this colony that was outside of the Earth because Earth got destroyed or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. But CW has some really good ideas for shows. It's just that most of them won't have the budget to back
it. Yeah. Send a damn shame.
Are you saying that they should go back to the W bird?
they should, just for Michigan J. Frog.
Word life. Well, people, there you go. That was your first newly recorded in the new year episode of Stage Crunchy and Milk. It's damn good. You know what I'm saying? It is the Jordan year, as I'm saying, which means you got to do what, people? Take the shot. Okay? Just trust your boy on this one. All right? You got this. It's going to be dope, and you'll be all the better for it.
It's not where I thought you were going with that. I thought you were going to tell us
it's so many different ways to
run from our gambling debts.
I was just about to say, look, take a year off in conspiracy.
Or carry a 4-5.
Yeah.
Let's not play games with you.
As needed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what it is, and therefore I'm not giving you all the deal of it. But I will tell you, we are over on Patreon. I put shows up all the time. Well, regular enough. So we got stuff popping over yonder. Feel free to get down with that if you are so inclined. I'm telling you right now, go get down with Delvin Cox Experience Patreon. It's worth it. You get Delvin makes so many damn shows. It's kind of ridiculous. I can never keep up. I try. I listen to what I can. It's a lot. So, yeah. So if you want to get down, he does a show with his son. He does a show with Chalf. He does a show with Fowler. He got a little bit of everything popping over yonder, and it's dope because of that. You know what I'm saying? So, Delvin, thank you so very much for coming to kick it with us tonight, man. It was very last minute. I asked him like this afternoon. I was like, "Yo, you want to do the show today? I want to talk more about your dating shit." So
yeah, that was great.
Thank you so very much for that, man.
Well, we appreciate you coming over.
That's for sure.
It was a blast, and I have to ask one question. The woman who felt like her butt was like a stripper's butt. Was she actually a stripper at one point?
No. She wasn't, surprisingly.
Me. Is it surprising?
I want to say I appreciate Lunch's name, because of that was a great show.
Thank you. Dude, I actually the other day, that was one of the things I was going to watch. I didn't get back to it. They dropped a couple seasons the last couple years. Like they renewed it.
The original show or the new one?
Well, it's an extension of the original show. Like they did like a limited run. Yeah, so like a couple years, like 2019, I want to say, they did like a 3-episode thing. It's on Netflix and Paramount Plus. But if you go on Paramount Plus, the second season they did, it's like 6 episodes, I think, which is what I'm like 5 minutes into it. Then I got pulled away. But then they did another one that came out last year that isn't up on the internet yet.
I got to tell you, when I was coming up, that was an awesome gateway into horror for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the show so much because it's so dope. But
there's just so many like iconic episodes. Like they had that kid corniness about them, but some of them were really kind of startling.
Yeah.
That one and Goosebumps was like that. What is it? Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps? Those are the 2 shows that were like, all right.
Erie, Indiana was really good too, but that one did.
That was a good one too.
WB.
See, there you go, people.
But yeah, like when like Are You Afraid of the Dark's montage starts, and it's like the boat creaking in the water, and then it goes up in the attic, and then there's like the clown doll, and
yes,
oh, so good. That show, I watched like a little mini doc on it a couple months back, and it actually almost didn't get made because the original guy who ran Nickelodeon vetoed it. Then a different guy took over, and he found it on the veto pile a year later, and he brought it back.
That's cool.
So we owe everything to that man.
Dan Snyder?
No, we don't owe that man anything.
Don't owe him shit. I will say this, since you mentioned it. Watch the Nickelodeon doc. It's really good.
The one on Hulu.
Yeah, I think it's on Hulu. It's called The Slime Year or something like that. It's a really good doc.
There.
It is. I watched that before. That is a good doc.
You've been given your marching orders. You know what it is. 2023. We taking shots, people, and we hitting the bitches all wet.
Like
that's Tatum 216. That's Tatum 216.
Thank you. Good night.
It's Lunchbox 2099.
Just wait until we put out our documentary, the last recording session.
That's Delvin Cox.
Count Duckula.
That's what's up. I am the Undertaker 713. You've just been podcast 2, and I know you loved it. We'll catch you next time.
Canada's
Peace.
favorite.
For sure.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.